So, it has been just over 1 week since they released the multiplayer beta for Halo Infinite at the Xbox 20th anniversary event, and you know what? I think it's time for a first impressions video. How is it going, everyone? Welcome back to the Fordy channel. Yes, my hair is a mess. I've just got back from the gym, so please ignore it. Do a haircut. Ignore it, please. I beg you. But today is a very exciting day. At the point of me recording this video, it is the first day of the first Fracture 10-Ray event in Halo Infinite, and so I figured this would be a perfect time to give my first impressions on the multiplayer beta thus far, and then we'll redo this video when the full release comes after December the 8th. Now, I'm going to be doing separate videos about things I love, things I hate, but this is just like a general kind of consensus for the multiplayer currently, and then once the game is launched fully with its day one patch and all the other stuff included, then I will do a full-on kind of review and then do separate videos of things I love, things I don't love, things that can be improved, and all of that kind of stuff. So we are going to have to start with the controversial point of this beta thus far, and that was the progression system. Now, when they first announced about doing an XP based progression system, I thought, okay, this is different, this is new, I think this is going to be kind of cool, because MCC's challenges were kind of lackluster and samey, repetitive, and this gives them an opportunity to give us some challenges that are actually challenges, and not just like complete 4 Halo 3 games and then here's a point. Do you know what I mean? But unfortunately, with the challenges being so randomized and so difficult to achieve at a lot of the times, it kind of made it hard to progress, as all of you may or may not know. But 343 was on top of that, and they managed to implement a little system for the time being where you get 50 XP per game, and if you use a double XP token, then for an hour you get 100 XP per game, which makes you progress through the battle pass just that little bit more. I mean, currently, after playing quite a lot of it this week, I mean, I have had a couple of days where I haven't jumped on. I've jumped on Forza, or I've jumped on some other games with friends. I'm currently Battle Pass level 14, which is pretty good going, if I do say so myself. That's using 2 double XP boosts and not buying any of the tiers. So I just bought the premium pass and I've just grinded it, doing the challenges, and it's a lot better now that we've got that play one match challenge. So there is room for improvement on that, but they have addressed this and they said that they're going to be implementing more ways to make more XP per match. And I think, to be honest, the best way to do it would be 100 XP for completing a game, 150 for winning, and 175 for being top of your team. I think that's fair enough, and in that way you can progress quite quickly and, you know, everybody gets a bit of XP at the end of the game. I think it's only fair. The next point that I wasn't really happy about so far is the game mode rotation. So in Halo Infinite, when you launch into quick play or big team battle or even ranked play, the current playlist is just a rotation of all of the game modes kind of thrown into a pit, and they just randomly appear on these different maps. And I'm not really keen on that. Now, it's not that it's a bad idea. I think there should be a playlist where all of it is just kind of in there, muddled up, and people can jump on and play any game mode if they're not too bothered. But myself personally, I like to just jump on and maybe play a game of Slayer or two before going to work, or maybe I want to grind out some Capture the Flag or Strongholds or something like that. But I can't do that, because if I want to play just a game of Slayer, or even if I've got a challenge that requires me to play a Capture the Flag game or a Strongholds game, I've got to play through all the other game modes that are randomly rotated, like Oddball, One Flag CTF, and things like that, in order to get the game mode that I require to complete a challenge. So I think that system is a little bit flawed, and I'm hoping that they're going to fix that upon the day one release on December 8th. But I'm not really a fan of that, and I hope that they do address this very soon. Weapon balancing, I think, is pretty damn good for the most part. The AR feels useful, the sidekick doesn't feel like an overpowered tank like the Halo 5 Magnum. The Needler might need a little bit of a nerf because it is slightly overpowered with the tracking. I think it's not the power, it's the tracking on it that really needs to be nerfed. The Commando might need a buff, as it felt better in the second flight than it does now. So I think a little buff on the Commando, a little nerf on the Needler. I think overall though, it's pretty good going at the moment compared to that of Halo 5, where the weapon balancing was completely off. The SMG was just overpowered to so it's kind of good that they've managed to get a reasonable weapon balance system in place. When it comes to the maps, I think they're really fun. They've definitely got some really cool and new ideas in there. Streets is a fantastic map with different levels of verticality and all these little places, especially for games like Oddball. It's really good fun. The big team battle maps, I'm hoping there's going to be more of them that are implemented as this season goes on, because there's only currently, I think, 3 maps for BTB, and they can sometimes get a little bit repetitive. So hopefully there's going to be a few more maps brought in later on in the season, but they are all fun to play. I really enjoy them. I just hope that they keep the rotation going well, because I've only played Aquarius, I think, 2 or 3 times in the last week, but I've played Live Fire about 40 times. So hopefully they can have a little tweak with that and get the maps to rotate a little bit more evenly. But all the maps in general are very fun to play, and you can use them all for custom games, and they seem to work really well in there, because I've done a couple of custom games with some friends, and all the maps tend to work with the settings you implement, and it's all good fun. So now for my final point, let's have a little chat about the gameplay. Overall, I feel the gameplay is really smooth. It's very fluid. Do bear in mind I'm playing on an Xbox One, the base version of the Xbox One, so the big VCR boy. So I can only run the game at 1080 30 FPS, but it is running very nicely. I'm not having any FPS jitters, I'm not having any issues with textures loading in and things like that. It's all kind of very well optimized. There are a few little things that do really need a little look at, like for prime example, like normally in Halo you can always see your feet if you look down, but at the moment you just see a shadow. Now I do know that the game is in beta, so this will probably be added or fixed upon day 1 release. I do feel like the maps definitely set the pace for the games. Like some of the slightly larger maps do make it more of a balanced, slow-paced game, such as Halo 3. And then you've got some of the maps like Live Fire and Streets, where it's just chaotic and there's people everywhere you look, and I really enjoy that. And I'm glad that they've got a nice balance of game pacing. But overall, I think it's a very fun experience. The fact that it is a free-to-play game is absolutely phenomenal. I do think that a few little things that a lot of other people have spoken about, i.e. store prices, progression, customization being locked to certain armor cores, I think those kind of things do need looking at and a bit of tweaking, but they're not game-breaking issues, which is more than what we can say for games like Battlefield, Call of Duty Vanguard, and many other titles that have released this year. But as an overall experience, it's fun to play, it's great to get your friends involved, you always have a blast in big team battle. I just wish that the game modes were kind of individualized, so you could select to play one game mode, or implement the system that Call of Duty did, where you can filter what games rotate in your playing, so you can select to rotate Slayer, Strongholds, and let's say Capture the Flag. And then Oddball doesn't come in there, One Flag CTF doesn't come up, and then you can kind of rotate and jump in between those game modes. I think something like that would do this game a hell of a lot of good. I feel like if this is going to be your first Halo game, you're really going to enjoy it. You're definitely going to get used to the control scheme, you're going to get used to the maps, you're going to get used to the way the game plays very quickly. It feels very familiar to those of you that have played faster FPSs like Call of Duty, and that is good to get new players involved. And of course, with the extent of the customization and things like that, it's going to draw a lot of people in. But like I said, overall, I'm very happy with this game. This has been a game that has been 6 years in the making, and we're finally playing it. And I don't think anyone can complain about that. A surprise release was just not what anyone expected. Of course, some rumors were about, but with the way that rumors go nowadays, we never really know. So being able to play this beta now and stream it and make content on it, it's just surreal. And I think that this is going to be the rebirth, so to speak, of Halo coming on top with the other FPS franchises. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it from me. Those are my first impressions of Halo Infinite. But if you guys have been playing, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Let me know how you feel about the map rotations, the game mode rotations, weapon balancing, anything like that. If there's anything I haven't touched on in this video and you want to let me know how you feel about it, go down in the comment section and let me know what you think. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe as well, because that means a lot to me. We're trying to build this channel up, baby. Halo Infinite It's gonna be some good content, baby. So make sure you stick around, leave a subscription, and if you enjoyed this video, click a like down there. It means a lot to me. And finally, if you don't already, please do be sure to follow me on twitch.tv down here and jump into some of our game nights. We're going to be doing a playthrough of the campaign. We jump on MCC as well. We have a bit of fun over there. So be sure to jump on Twitch with me and some of the other guys at some point if you want to join us for some live gameplay. Thank you very much for tuning in. It's been a pleasure entertaining you. But until the next video, my friends, stay safe and don't get lost on Zeta Halo. See you next time.